What's going on, guys? Mike, aka Crypto Jewels. I'm going to do a Trias update here. You guys have been asking for it, so I'm going to go ahead and give it to you. Guys, I'm not a financial advisor. I do this for entertainment and educational purposes only. So take anything and everything I say like a grain of salt and do your own research and all that fun stuff. All right, so let's hop into the chart, guys. I'm going to get into the details here. So let's start off on a macro level, what I'm seeing this count as and how I see this thing unfolding and where I see this thing going long-term, and then also where I see this thing going short-term. So stay with it. Might get a little long, but I'll have a lot of good information in here for you. All right, guys. So as we've discussed, we've got our first impulse leg up here, our wave one up here, and then we have a corrective structure. This entire thing is an ABC corrective structure, either a running flat, a expanded flat, or a regular flat. That is still yet to be undetermined as to what kind of structure, corrective structure this is. When I'm talking about this, I'm talking about this entire structure here, this A, B, C. So we've got a 1. This structure is our 2. Once this structure completes, as long as the the bullish structure is still intact on a macro level, we will be looking for a macro 3 wave up about $250 or so, and then a macro 5 wave around 400, $500. So that's the macro view of this thing. But in my opinion, we are in store for a little bit of downside before we continue with our macro trend. So I've got 2 current counts on how I see this thing unfolding right now, this C leg here, the C wave. So you've got your ABC, your 3 wave A, you got a 3 wave B, which is an ABC, and then you have a 5 wave structure down, creating your C wave. So I'm assuming at this point that this thing is going to be a running flat, meaning that price will not get down to 250. That would be a regular flat, and then an expanded flat would mean that price would go below 250, but not breach the low at 59 cents. So I'm viewing this thing as a running flat, again, which means price will stop short of the macro A of the 2 wave. So how I see this thing playing out currently, this is option 1, which I'm more inclined right now at this point in believing this is the scenario. So what we've got is we've got our orange count here. We've got the 1, 2, then you have a micro 3 wave structure here, 1, 2, 3, and then we have a WXY to create our 4, and then we'll have our 5 wave down here to finish our 1, 2, our 3 wave. I see that 3 wave going anywhere from 575 to 650, and this current count that we're in right now looks something like this. You've got an ABC creating your W, an ABC creating your X, an AB, and potentially a C wave up, which could go, as high as $15, and still this count would not be invalidated. If we breach this level here, this entire count is invalidated, and we'll have to review it and see where we're at. I would be absolutely surprised if we ended up going above 1290. I personally don't think we'll probably even get above, for very long at least. We might wick above this 1050 area, but that area has proven as heavy resistance a couple different times. It used to be a support, flipped resistance now. We got rejected here. So this C could run back up here and create your WXY, and then finish your your micro 5 of your macro 3 down to this zone here, and then you'll have a 4 bounce, and then you'll have your final C wave, 5 wave down to finish your C, it could be as low as, $4, or depending on what the macro environment of crypto looks like at that point in time, you could get a truncated fifth, meaning this thing does not extend past where your 3 went down to, or, obviously you could just wick below it and your 5 could be in, and this could be your ABC. So that's scenario number 1. Scenario number 2, the count that I have is this blue count here, which is very similar. The only difference is our 3, our macro 3 is already in, and we just have one more 5 wave down to finish our fifth wave structure. So that looks like this. You've got your blue 1 ABC to create your 2, and then a 3, and then an ABC here. And then we've got a 1, 2, and then we're grinding down for our 3. And then you'll have a 4 up and your final 5th wave down to create your 5, which could potentially end your C wave. If this count is correct, you would reverse or start reversing around 575 to 650 instead of having this count, which is a 1, 2, and we're not finished with our 3. And we won't finish with our 3 until the 575, 650 range. The only difference is a micro count of this 3 wave here. I've got this as a 1, 2, 3, where that spike is, that wick there, the current low, I've got that as a 3, a micro 3, guys, whereas over here, I've got that potentially as a macro 3. So meaning we would only have one more 5 wave down. So those are the 2 scenarios I see, but again, from a 50,000 foot macro level, I ultimately see this thing as macro bullish, and we will continue with the trend and ultimately, be at prices much, much higher than this. So hope you guys enjoy. See y'all later. Nope. Wrong button.